Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Joe Wright. I'm here at Dover International Raceway. I don't even know if it's called that, but Dover Raceway with the Arca series from Extreme Forces Racing League. Their Monday night series, race 2 of the season here at Dover. And as you see on your screen right now, the team points. LF Motorsports starting to take shape there with 82 points. Intensity Neon Racing, 76 points. The Misfit, 74. SCR Racing, Stanley Everett with 70. Buck Wild Racing with 69. And Far North Motorsports with 66. Pretty tight, 66 to 82. It's pretty tight for the beginning of the season. First race out of the gate. If you look at their points leader, obviously Devin Bacino, the winner from last week at Daytona. He's on top of the board. Tyler Aspinall second. Donnie Bartlett third. Sam Serco in that fourth spot. Dean Qualley, the closer, in fifth. Daniel Stagner sixth. Logan Hagerman seventh. Benjamin Park eighth. Dylan Redding ninth. And Chris Wheeler rounding out your top 10. Some notables. Josh Fox had a great run at Daytona. Jake Ellingson comes back to 14th. Alan Warnicki right there in 11th. But it's time to look forward now to tonight's race. And what we have in store for you here is 2 sets of tires in the pit, as well as 65% fuel. So we'll see some green flag pit stops, hopefully, assuming these guys can all keep it straight as you watch them come under the bridge there. Dover, different kind of racetrack for sure. A beast of its own. Miles the Monster. A little bit shorter than most of the tracks that NASCAR goes to. It's the Monster Mile, so, without further ado, it's 1 mile, in case you didn't know that. And so, my colleague Eddie decided not to show up or respond to messages, so he's MIA. We'll see if Morris of Morris Customs comes rolling into the chat or not here in a minute. If you're watching this broadcast, like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Do it on all 3. No reason not to. You're just going to help us out in the future. That'd be great. About a minute 36 left in practice, as you can see on your screen as well. And Dustin Buck currently top of the board. Devin Bacino second. Lee Krause third. Farron Elam Jr. in fourth. Tyler Aspinall fifth fastest. Some technical difficulties real quick. Just gonna work those out. About 15 seconds and we'll get into qualifying here at Dover. Currently 28 cars able to take a lap. Pretty good turnout here at Dover. As we watch that 18 machine at rowdy Tony Richardson, currently 15th fastest. As he looks like he's just getting a feel for the track. And practice is complete. We'll see who hits the grid first. First in their car or gets first on the broadcast. Evan Pacino. Because he's listening. Oh, you lose out, you reset. Mick Olofsson. Watch Mick as he goes out on his out lap. We'll see what he can do here. So first time lap for Mick, he gets through 1 and 2 pretty good. As he heads down the backstretch into 3 and 4 underneath the bridge. And you can hear him out of the throttle a little bit there on entry. Back to the throttle as he comes off the corner. This is where it get a little sketchy here at Dover. If you don't hit it right, you'll end up in the wall. Mick with a decent lap that time by. He's going to be P6. Ellingson Jake to the top of the board. Now Dustin Buck. Let's see if Mick can improve on his second lap. Mick high through 3 and 4. Let's see if that helps him here. Mick's second lap not faster, so it looks like that first lap is the way to be. Chad Waller, a new name here in the Extreme Forces League. As we go on board with him. You can hear that. Sounds like they're falling off a hill. But Chad holding the throttle down through the middle of the corner there. Really nice line. Back to the throttle into 3 and 4. You can get it stuck down that bottom, get back to the throttle. We'll have a nice little lap here. Chad letting it hang out. Chad Waller up to P6. Now on board with Farron Elam Jr. on his first go lap. In that sweet looking Advantix 24. Farron up to P2 on his first lap. Let's see if he's likely to improve here on his second or not. We'll see. Nobody has had a faster second lap, I don't believe, so far. Although he's looking pretty good. Sideways off of 4. It's not going to do him any good. Tyler Aspinall up to P2. All right, let's go on board with Josh Fox in that number 8 Taco Bell machine. He matches the sign, the LI sign, as he goes down into turns 3 and 4 on his out lap. Next time by, he'll start his time lap as he crosses the line now. That'll start his time lap. We'll go on board. This is the gyro cam. Little high through there for 3 and 4. Josh Fox P14 fastest there. On board now with Brandon Richardson of SER Racing. Brandon up to P7 on his first lap. See if he can improve on that second one. Nobody having been able to so far. And it looks like that's also going to be the case for the 29. Still got about 4 cars here who haven't hit the track. Ben Park, Daniel Stagner, Jesse Adams, and the closer Dean Qualley. They might be thinking strategy here is to stay out of the fray, stay at the back, maybe even start from pits. As we're about to be out of time here, I believe, pretty quickly. There it is. Well, with qualifying complete, Dustin Buck, your pole sitter. Dustin putting in lots of hours of practice this week. Finds himself sitting on the pole. And there it is, the Georgia Bulldog machine. Number 68, Dustin Buck on the pole. Tyler Aspinall starting on his outside. Farron Elam Jr. is going to start P3. Devin Bacino will be to his outside. Alan Wernicke will start P5. Outside of him will be Jake Ellingson in the Barbie Hot Rod. Brandon Richardson will start P7th, and outside of him, Lee Krause. Atman Weiss of Intensity Broadcasting there in that P9. Great qualifying effort from him. Devin Smith Mister will be P10. Chad Waller, P11. Dylan Dunford's going to start 12th. Dylan Redding, 13th. Logan Hagerman, P14. 15th will be Sam Serco. Outside of him will be the 8 machine of Josh Fox. 19th, Donnie Bartlett in that 21 machine. Matthew Setzer, 18th. Bradley Stefan? I don't know. P19, we'll have to ask him about that. Chris Wheeler, P20. 21st will be Rowdy Tony Richardson. Mick Lofson's going to roll off P21. I'm sorry, P22. Dave Wright, P23. Rob Hamilton's going to start to his outside in that 24th spot. Derek Chaput in the 37 Reese's machine will roll off to P25. 26, we will see Ben Park. 27th, Dean Qualley. Jesse Adams will be to his outside, and rounding out the field will be Daniel Stagner. It looks like Dean Qualley might have misfired or stalled her. There he goes. He's got it started up now, and he's rolling. 29 cars in the field. It's going to be a long night. I hope I didn't just jinx it. Dustin Buck will lead these gentlemen around in that Red Dog machine. And he'll have the start. Green flag will wave. Green flag is out. And we're racing here at the Monster Mile. Let's see who Miles will claim first. Dustin Buck says it's not going to be me. Tyler Aspinall slides in behind him. You see a little bit of side action there between the 00 of Devin Bacino and Alan Wernicke. Wernicke able to clear into P4, and Bacino will settle in. Pretty single file throughout the field. We see a little bit of action back here around Dylan Dunford. That's the 66 as well of Chad Waller. They single up a little bit. Dunford with a great run through the middle of the corner there. Dustin Buck out front with Tyler Aspinall looking at him real close. This one's for Grandma Aspinall. A little front end action of her grandson. Still single file throughout the top 10. Hearing some scraping of the wall back behind him. Still nothing so far as we roll through the field. Lots of single file action. Your biggest mover so far, up 2 positions, is Bradley Stefan. Actually make that Dave Wright up 4 positions here, as we see D. Wright making his way through the field as well. Dustin Buck, your only leader so far. Tyler Aspinall right there. And Tyler got some pressure from Farron Elam, actually, right behind him as well. You see A little bit of a diamond for Tyler. Tyler looks inside here. But Dustin Buck able to just clear down in front of him again. Dover, a tough place to pass unless you get a great run off the corner. So that's Tyler Aspinall giving chase to that 68 machine. Dustin Buck so far able to lead every lap of the race. Logan Hagerman up +3. Dylan Dunford up 2. Atlee, man, we're sliding back there a little bit. Maybe a little bit of tire conservation coming from him as he slid down to 12th. Josh Fox up 3 as well. And as I talked about, Bradley Stefane in that 89 machine making moves. Back to the front where we still have a battle for the lead as Tyler tries to put the pressure on. Tyler slapping the wall there. That's going to cost him some speed for sure. And you see him lose about a full car length there off the wall. Just a little kiss. Never hurt nobody. Pacino just being patient, kind of hanging out there right behind Tyler and Dustin. Tyler, one of the younger drivers in this group of drivers. 11 laps in, still hanging in there with the lead. The youngest Atlee, man, he's down to 12th. Dave Wright up to 18th. Sam Serkos dropped 5. Derek Chaput up 4. It's P21. Dean Qualley from the back up 2. Tony Richardson having a tough time back there. He's dropped 7 positions since the beginning of the race. But these 3 in the front, or 4 in the front, I guess. The leader trying to get away, actually, is... Looks like Bacino got by Aspinall at some point, as well as the 24. So here comes Devin Bacino. Let's go on board with him and crank it up. Bacino not really able to gain much ground on old Dustin Buck there. 0.6 back now. And Devin just struggling a little bit behind him, but kind of maintaining that gap now at 0.6. Dustin Buck just comfortable out front in the clean air. Turning his laps. You see Bacino just a little bit higher on entry. Lost about a 10th there. But he does have that draft help from behind of Farron Elam. Tyler Aspinall plummeting through the field now. He's really struggling. I don't know if some of that wall contact is starting to make him push a bit or if he's in conservation mode here. But, man, it's going to be tough for him. Yeah, into the wall again there for Aspinall. He is sliding back fast. He's down 6 positions, one of the biggest droppers of the race so far. Dustin Buck out to almost a full second now over Bacino. 0.9 seconds. We were just talking about 0.6 just a bit ago. And who would have thought green flag runs would be a thing here at Dover tonight? These things are going to get tougher to drive. As you see, Bacino way high to the corner there as the 24 goes by. And the 24 of Farron Elam Jr. able to start gapping Bacino as well. Well, that's what Dustin Buck wants to see in his mirror. The more they fight back there, the easier it is for him to open that gap up now. Tyler Aspinall still dropping through the field. Dylan Dunford goes around him. Logan Hagerman up next. And yeah, definitely Tyler off the pace here as we watch him still falling through the field. Chad Waller, the next guy back. Dustin Buck out to 1.38 seconds as we're 21 laps into this 100-lap event from Dover. Some close racing here between Ben Parker and Sam Serco. Ben Park underneath now. Thinks better of it. Great run off the corner for Ben there as he's able to clear Serco. Devin Smith under pressure from Josh Fox. Actually, looks like Devin Smith might be driving away from Josh Fox. Josh Fox kind of getting that little diamond action going, driving a little deeper, letting it roll up the track. And once he feels it rotate, back to the throttle. See it right here, and back to the throttle there. Flirting with that apron can get you real quick, real easy here at Dover, so gotta be careful with that. See Logan Hagerman just in front of him now. Devin Smith able to get by Logan. Evan Bacino. Lee Krause gets by him now. Lee Krause up to P4. Devin looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit off the corners, getting a little bit tight. Lee into the wall there. A great battle right here in front of Dylan Dunford. That's Brandon Richardson and Chad Waller fighting. Brandon giving up the spot. Now Dunford taking it too. Once you get out to that... A little tight for Dunford as he's trying to get off the corner. Not able to do it. Richardson with a little side draft. That's going to also open the door for Hagerman. I'm sorry, for Devin Smith and Hagerman. Really good racing here from these guys. The leader actually starting to lose his lead. 3/10 last time I checked, down 3/10. So Dustin Buck, Farron Elam Jr. closing that gap to Dustin Buck slowly but surely. 1.3 back now. Was 1.7 the last time I checked. Now they have been dealing with a little bit of lap traffic, so that may have something to do with it. You see Dustin Buck. Coming up on some more lap traffic. I'm not sure who that is just yet. That's a 84 of David Wright. Dustin Buck putting him one lap down. It'll be the third car he's put a lap down of the field. We'll look back from Dustin Buck now, as his lead staying about the same. Now Alan Wernicke actually got by Farron Elam Jr. Wernicke here worked by the lap car of David Wright. A great run for the 99 through the middle of that corner. Lee Krause is able to get by Wright as well. We're all clearing by him. Dustin Buck still leads this thing. Now he's opened it back up to a second and 3/4, so 1.75 over Wernicke. You can see that gap right there. Biggest mover of the race so far, Ben Park, up 12 positions since the beginning. Talked about him earlier, and there he's getting passed by the 89 now. I guess that must have been somebody who hit pit road maybe or something. I'm not sure, but he was way faster than Ben. As we look at the stint lengths of the top 20, nobody hitting pit road in the top 20, so I'm not sure who that was, but they were flying. Maybe the 89. Yep, and he is last on the grid, not 29th. That's Bradley Stefane. Wernicke out for a Sunday drive. Dustin Buck making easy work of these lap cars. Mick Olofsson into the outside wall outside the leader. Nick able to hang on to it. And Dustin Buck making short work of the 5. The 5 into the outside wall there, though. He's able to hang on to it. You can see him there in the back of the picture. That wall here at Dover does creep up on you as you see him work around Chaput. Putting him a lap down as well. 40 laps in, and Dustin Buck is on a rail. And Alan Wernicke kind of closing that gap 1.3 as he's making the easier work, I guess, of these lap cars than Dustin Buck is. Maybe just catching them in better places as Chaput now about to get caught by Wernicke as well. One guy onto pit road there. That is Daniel Stagner. As we watch that battle between first and second in your screen. First all the way to your left, second just behind him, as they're both into the turn here. They'll come off of 3 and 4 and down the front stretch. And I'll tell you what, Alan Wernicke closing that gap down to 0.85 now. He's wheeling that thing on his way to the front. Dustin Buck goes by Atman. Atman keeps it high for the leaders. Wernicke able to clear as well. But Wernicke closing that gap. We're going to go on board with Wernicke here while he goes to work. A lot of guys hit pit road here. Dave Wright on pit road. Chris Wheeler, Tyler Aspinall, all on pit road that time. Alan Wernicke really closing the gap now, late in this run, 46 laps in. I'd imagine they're looking for lap 50 here. A lot of race left still, halfway almost, and Wernicke with some traffic in front of Dustin Buck. Can he use him as a pick? We'll see what he can do when he gets to him. You see them kind of spread out in front of him. That's Dean Qualley in that 17 machine just in front of the leader. Wernicke for the lead. As he pushes up the track just a hair there. Dustin Buck giving way. Wernicke, your new leader. Wernicke now to the inside of Dean Qualley. That's going to put Dean a lap down, I believe. It does. Lap 50 is in the books. How much longer does Dustin Buck and Alan Wernicke stay on track? They are probably losing time to the guys on fresh tires lap after lap. Now they've laid some rubber down and lapped some people, but man, it's tough to really tell until everybody's hit pit road as to how far ahead you actually are. You see Atman Weiss coming off pit road there at the bottom of your screen. All right, we can probably look at some stint links now. Stefan, the most recent in the top 20 on pit road. There we go. There's everybody. You see Wright, Chaput, Olofsson, Weiss, Aspinall, and Wheeler all hitting pit road as well. There's a caution on the track. I'm a little late to the party. All right, let's see what happened here. Wow, big wreck there. That's the 55-16 and the 66. '16 super slow. 55's race, he's going to need a reset for sure. Did anybody else get into them? No. Doesn't look like it. That's a 55 with Jesse Adams. Let's go on board with Adams here. That's going to shake up the field for sure as we see our leaders hit pit road. Who's going to get off pit road first? Pacino slides in behind him there. Warnicki. Buck's going to beat Warnicki. But that's not going to give them the lead, I don't believe. Devin Smith staying on track as well as Dean Qualley. But right now, your leader, Devin Smith Mister. I don't know if he's going to be going back or not. He's going to be hitting pit road here. And he probably just stayed out to try to get that lap led. You see Atman bump drafting the pace car as he waits to get waved around, as well as the 16, the 21, the 75, the 45, the 22, the 7. A lot of these guys are waiting to get a wave around here. So everybody in front of Dustin Buck will get a wave around. Everybody behind him stuck. And all of those guys just hitting pit road, I think, right before that, or we're going to try to see if something bad happens here and hopefully just get their lap back and hope for a caution. It's the other option for those guys. As we work our first caution, lap 50. Make that lap 54 now. You see all those guys getting their wave bys. It's going to be a healthy chunk of drivers getting back on the lead lap there. But not able to get to pit road. So they're going to be, like I said, hoping for a caution here. Dustin Buck will be your leader, and now the restarts are on him. So after that pace car dips off, he can go anytime he wants. Dustin Buck is going. That was a really early go for him, but it worked in his favor as he's now gapped the guys behind him who are racing. You see some 2 and 3 wide back there. Some really close racing at the back. Alan Warnicki now to back bumper of Dustin Buck. Some really close racing throughout the field right now. Warnicki with a huge run down the front stretch. He backs out of it on the entry to 1 and 2.
Again, a great run off of 3 and 4 for Warnicki. It seems like he gets through 3 and 4 and off the corner better than Buck. Buck a little bit better in 1 and 2. Yes, here comes Warnicki. Farron just kind of hanging out. Lee Krause as well. Jake Ellingson there up to P5. Devin Bacino right behind him, looking underneath Jake Ellingson for 5th. Bacino underneath. He's going to get by Jake off of the corner number 2 and down the backstretch. Brandon Richardson's going to look next. They're all pretty much single file here, just riding along. Dustin Buck easily going to have the most laps led here tonight. Warnicki tags the wall just a little bit off the corner there. See if that hurts his speed here as this run goes along. We saw it happen to Tyler Aspinall early in the first run. He was chasing that leader, Dustin Buck, out a little tight behind him, got into the wall, and that was it. He plummeted through the field after that. As they pass the lap car of number 16, that's Sam Serco. Everybody trying to find a way around Sam here. Everybody safely clearing Sam. Matthew Setzer bringing up the rear right now. I'm not sure what happened with him. Dustin Buck still your leader, though. Alan Warnicki all over the backside of him. As Farron Elam Jr. enters into this as well now. Let's go on board with Farron. A little blink from Farron there. Farron doing a really good job of entering the corner there and letting it kind of roll the center. See him close that gap drastically now. As he lifts here, thought better of looking inside. Farron exercising some patience. Although he's got somebody all over the back of him. That's Devin Bacino, I'm sorry. He can't exercise too much patience. Devin will go around him. Devin to the outside now. Devin's going to take that spot. Last week's winner from Daytona finding his way through the field here late in the race, 72 of 100. And let's see if he burns his stuff off, but if not, he might have something for these leaders. As now Dustin Buck starting to step it up a little bit. He's got about a quarter-second lead over Warnicki, a half-second lead over Bacino. A lot of wall scraping I'm hearing from some of these other guys on track. Dustin Buck, Warnicki. Warnicki looks underneath Buck. Nothing there for him, though. And Bacino exercising some patience here, kind of waiting out. Just going to see what happens with these guys in front of him. A lot of race left, 25 laps or so to go. Just in front of Dustin Buck, you see Chris Wheeler in that 22 machine. He's not had a great night tonight. Used to seeing him up toward the front. Currently running P20th. Miles the Monster eating some of these guys for lunch as we hear them scraping the wall constantly. But Dustin Buck so far not having any issues. And actually, Alan Warnicki keeping pace with Dustin Buck, kind of just stalking there. 22 laps to go here from the Monster Mile. Go ahead and look at the chat, see if anybody's saying anything. Nope, nothing important. 16 people watching. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on a Monday. Like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Do it on all three platforms, even if you're just watching them. Just go help us out. That 2 machine goes high there to let the leaders by, and he does it again to let the second place guy. He'll stay high, I think. But Dustin Buck, so far so good. No issues from him. If you're Devin Bacino, you got to be thinking about when it's time to go and when it's not. If you're Alan Warnicki, you can't let Dustin Buck get away either. 19 laps to go as you see Warnicki kind of close the gap there. Through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, Buck a little bit loose off of 2. Warnicki closes the gap a little bit more. Bacino takes the high line here. Chad Waller looks underneath. Chino almost takes it around, but he hangs on to it as Waller gets by. Ooh-wee. What a save by Dustin Buck. That, my friend, was a heck of a drive. He was at least 45 degrees sideways and was able to hang on to it somehow, some way. Good wheelman there. Dustin Buck now looking behind D. Wright and Derek Chaput looking to take them a lap down again. Dustin Buck just so fast through the middle of the corner here as they come up on David Wright and Derek Chaput. Now they'll look to put Atlee at Manwees sometime down. Ooh, they're 4 wide down the front stretch there. That was wild. 3 wide still in front of them. $14 laps to go. Dustin Buck, still your leader. Alan Warnicki chasing, stalking, some might say. Don't count out Chad Waller. Chad Waller made a move on Devin Bacino. We hadn't seen that speed from Chad all night long, but here he is, P3, and hunting the leaders. $11 laps to go. Saw a huge wiggle out of Michalowski right in front of the leaders there. That was definitely a Matt Knight's pucker moment if I ever seen one. Kyle Aspinall keeps it high for the leaders. 9 laps to go as we watch Alan Warnicki chasing Dustin Buck for this win. Will Alan make a move, or will he settle for second? Dustin Buck dominant all night long. We saw Warnicki late in the run earlier get by him. Did Warnicki save anything here for the closing laps? As we're going to be 7 laps to go this time by. Dustin Buck actually starting to get a little gap between him and Warnicki. Warnicki kind of falling off here a little bit. 6 laps to go. Chad Waller and Devin Smith giving chase. 5 laps. Make that 4. The 95 now of Devin Smith looks under Chad Waller. That's going to slow down Chad Waller, but it's going to help out Warnicki and Buck. Warnicki, though, 4 laps to go. Is it enough time? What can he do with Dustin Buck, if anything? Atlee Weiss on pit road. 3 laps to go from the Monster Mile. Dustin Buck has been the man all day long to tame the monster. However, Alan Warnicki, trying to play spoiler, is putting in work there in that second spot. Not able to really catch him, though. He gets to him, and Dustin Buck just opens it up again. 2 to go. They're praying for no caution. Down the backstretch one last time into 3 and 4, and they'll see the white flag next. There'll be one more rotation here at the Monster Mile for Dustin Buck on a dominant performance all night long from the point. Warnicki looking like he's just going to settle in there for second. Although we did see somebody crash in 3 and 4 last night, I hear on Intensity Broadcasting on the last lap. Got a little overzealous. We'll see what Dustin Buck can make it through 3 and 4. He does. Off the corner he'll come, down the front stretch, and your winner from the Monster Mile, Dustin Buck. Alan Warnicki finishes P2, Devin Smith 3rd, Chad Waller 4th, Lee Kraus with a top 5 and 5th, Farron Elam Jr. 6th, Jake Ellingson 7th, Brandon Richardson 8th, Dylan Redding 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Josh Fox. Dustin Buck doesn't know where the front stretch is. He's just rolling in circles. I'm just joking. He has found it. And Dustin Buck's going to do a Polish victory lap. Made famous by Alan Kowicki. And now maybe I'll do some burnouts. All right, we'll see if we can get the top 3 into the waiting room. And we'll get these interviews to you. Hey, Devin, it's Joe Wright in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, great race tonight. You find yourself coming home P3 after a great pass on Chad Waller in those closing laps. If you had any more laps, you think you had anything for those top two?
It's possible. I know. I think that last lap I was catching second, but I know Dustin was pulling away on him, so it's hard to tell. We probably didn't have many more laps to go on fuel, so even if we did go all out, I'm not sure if I would have got him. It'd been close though. I'm surprised I still had as much tire as I did left.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a great run tonight, getting yourself that podium finish here with the Extreme Forces Racing League. Do you have any sponsors or family or friends or people watching this broadcast that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Well, we got my team, Misfits Racing. Then we got like our partner team with Team SCR. Everybody did a good job tonight. Amazingly clean racing besides, that one big incident there when pit stops were happening, which kind of was bound to happen because people coming into the pits, going out of the pits. Fresh tires, old tires, all that stuff. But I have to say, it was a goddamn good race.
Well, good job, Devin, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Alan Wernicke, you got Joe in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Hey, Alan, what a race tonight, man. You had something for Dustin Buck. I think if that first run stays green, you might have even won this thing. But unfortunate circumstances, you take the lead and you lose the lead on pit road. You end up having to follow Dustin Buck. Looked like you were saving a little bit there, but not able to get it done there at the end.
Yeah, I was saving. Saved pretty much all race. I was just kind of trying to keep a comfortable distance behind me, just in case something goofy happened with cautions at the end. I had more tire than most.
Yeah, for sure. But still bringing it home P2. Great finish tonight. Anybody you want to thank, or sponsors or friends or anything like that watching?
Well, big shout out to teammates, Buck Wild Racing. They spent a little bit of time this week practicing. Dustin put up a bunch of practices. I know he's got another league race, same track, so look out, whatever league that is. But
Yeah, the practice probably definitely helped both of you guys bring this thing home 1-2. So good job.
I appreciate it. Big shout out to SER for sponsoring this series. We appreciate it. Couldn't do it without them. And you guys for doing the podcast.
Yep. Thanks, Alan. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Dustin Buck bringing this thing home on a dominant performance. The only person who gave you a little bit of strife was your teammate there in Alan Wernicke, but man, you were able to hold him off in that last run. Great run.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a plan coming into this, and if it, after that last stop there, Alan and I just decided that we try to pace the field and not try to work out any kind of big lead and save our tires and to hold off anybody at the end. And it worked out really well for us. This is a lot of fun. I got to thank my teammates. We had a blast today. All five of us finished in the top 7. Everybody qualified well. And then the league as a whole, this is a really difficult track to get down and to run one yellow and have all the green flag laps was pretty impressive by everybody.
For sure, the Arca car a handful, especially here at Dover. But like you said, these guys putting on a show tonight, only one wreck, and that was just I think a miscommunication, maybe with some pit stops there. So overall, a great race from everyone here at the Extreme Forces Racing League. Dustin, anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
Oh, just a big thank to Dean and all the guys that make this league happen. You guys up in the broadcast booth for riding along with us. It's the people in the league that make this fun and make it worth logging on, and they do a bang up job.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your first win of the season, and hopefully we'll see you again here in the broadcast booth sometime soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully we get to talk next week.
All right, Dustin, take care. Well, that about wraps it up here from Dover Raceway. Man, a great race. You know, only one caution the entire race. Couldn't have predicted that. Wouldn't have put $100 on it, but it happened. Great job to all the drivers here at Extreme Forces Racing League, and congrats to Dustin Buck, Alan Warnicki, and Devin Smith on their podium finishes, especially Dustin Buck dominating here at Dover. For Intensity Broadcasting, my name is Joe Wright. I've been joined by nobody because Eddie didn't show up. Hope you listen to this, Eddie, and you punch yourself. All right. As Atlee Man Weiss would say, over and out.